welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Dave Putnam, who's the Executive Director of the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut. Dave, welcome. How are you?
Thanks, Pete. It's always great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Good to see you, my friend. It's been a couple of months.
It's been a couple of months, yeah. You know, with all the pandemic and everything going on, I think things have been pushed back a little bit, but it's great to be here again.
I know. Good to see you.
And be able to talk about our Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut.
Well, let's talk about the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut. What exactly is it?
So we are an organization that has actively fundraised for about 2 years now to build a fully accessible athletic field for kids with cognitive and disability and physical disabilities in Southeastern Connecticut. So it's kind of what our whole thing is our goal. Our major goal was this phase one of the project is to build the field, and then we are happy to announce that the field is done.
Yay.
And now we get into the programming stage, into the phase two stage, and some of those other things. So that gives you a little bit about what we do and who we are, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, obviously, phase one is done. Tell us a little bit about it.
So phase one, we started actively fundraising in November of 2017. And our goal totally was to privately fundraise for this project. We don't want to use any taxpayer monies. We don't want to use any, the field is in East Lyme, and we didn't want to use any East Lyme local taxpayer money. So our goal was to raise $600,000 for phase one. We were able to do that. And we started construction in February of 2020. We're really excited. We had a great contractor in Earth Dynamics out of Coventry, Connecticut. Sure. They were great to work with, and we had a design done by TO Design out of New Britain. They were great to work with. And so first shovel in the ground of February 23rd, and then we were completed right around Memorial Day, which was really aggressive. One thing that positive that happened out of the whole COVID thing is school was out of session. And this is, the field is on location at Flanders Elementary School in East Lyme. So if it was in school and the kids were in school, we would have had to work around recesses and testing and all those other types of things, and probably wouldn't have been able to get done as quickly. But with the kids out of school, we didn't have any of those type of concerns, and the construction company was able to continue right along. So one positive thing, I guess, out of this was this whole pandemic was that Earth Dynamics was able to be on site 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and they plugged away. And like I said, they started in February, finished Memorial Day weekend, or just about then. Some touch-ups, some little things here and there. And so really completed early this summer. Oh,
very cool, very cool. Now, obviously, you obviously have some people you want to thank. And give kudos to.
We had hundreds of people that had donated money. And I think when anybody gets to a project like this and say, "Oh, geez, we got to raise $600,000. Can we get that one big sponsor to come in and kind of put us over the top?" That didn't happen to us. But what did happen is we had hundreds of people donate. And when I say small amounts of money, it's not small amounts of money. Anywhere from $500 to $25,000 to $30,000. So we had a grand opening recently, or not a grand. I shouldn't say that because it was on a small scale because of the COVID stuff. We did a small ribbon cutting ceremony where we invited our Grand Slam sponsors, those sponsors that donated $25,000 and plus. And so we had 9 of those from Dominion Energy, which has a plant, a Millstone plant in Waterford, our neighbor, Geico, Eastern Connecticut Chamber of Commerce, Niantic Main Street, which is a local nonprofit organization that really got behind the project, the Miracle League of Connecticut, the Niantic Rotary Club, Kevin's Courts, and that is, and I'll explain that a little bit later. That was an addition onto the project later, and then the Mohegan Tribe.
Oh wow!
So those sponsors were great, and so we were able to have them come out and participate in a small ribbon cutting ceremony. We had 8 kids that threw out the first pitch. Some of our athletes to come out and throw out the first pitch, and kind of then did a little demonstration on the field of how what a typical baseball game would look like on the Miracle League field. And remember, these are kids all with with disabilities. And so we were excited to be able to do that, and we're hoping that in the spring, hopefully if we get past all these regulations and the COVID stuff, that we can do a huge ceremony, because we have hundreds, if not thousands, of people to thank for all those donations that were 25, the ones that that were less than 25 grand. We still need to recognize those people, and we'll do that in time.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
so we're taking a look at there's some pictures here behind us.
Right.
Let's talk about them. What are they?
Absolutely. So this is the field here, and the field obviously is a fully synthetic field, and it does not have crumb rubber in it. So that's something that we looked at. Okay. It is glued onto the asphalt. There's an asphalt pad underneath this, and then so the reason this becomes wheelchair and walker accessible for those kids with disabilities is the synthetic fiber has a really low nap to it and a really thick nap. Okay. And so that allows for that nice transition from our walkways onto the field for those kids with walkers and wheelchairs, and able to participate in the activities without any barriers. And so when we looked at it, and there's other programs in the area that maybe have a challenger baseball league or whatever, but remember, those are on dirt, or typical little league fields, and they become an issue. So this was that's the reason we went with this style of turf. It is nice that it's at the elementary schools, because the kids during recess can use it now, and they're taking full advantage of that. And then we've also started some programming on the field as well, which has been really exciting to see. So,
cool.
Yeah, so we started a dance program. Normally it's inside, but now that we have this field, we have 14 kids in our dance program. They come outside every Saturday morning and participate on the field. And then on Sunday mornings, we have our Let's Play Miracle League Soccer, and we have 34 kids signed up for Let's Play Soccer in our first year. We're really excited about that. We've been on a little break here because of the COVID uptick, and East Lyme has been designated as a red alert town. So we've, on the abundance of caution, we have postponed that for 2 weeks. We're hoping to do a nice award ceremony and last event on the 25th, and hopefully that'll be our kind of our end to the program, and we can celebrate all those kids that participated in it. And we hope that we're out of the red alert and into an orange alert, or whatever that, where our numbers might be going down. And if not, we'll do the best we can to celebrate these kids that participated in our program for a while.
So how big of a group is your board of directors for the Miracle League?
Yeah, so we have 25 people on our board of directors, and Pete, thank you.
I was going to say 23 of them are sitting, 22 of them are sitting right here.
2 of them are sitting right here.
That's
so
right.
Pete, thank you for all your efforts and being on the board. And so 25 individuals that are extremely hardworking, extremely dedicated to the project. And I don't think you always see that. And it's hard with that big of an organization. Sometimes it gets a little, I don't know, convoluted, or everybody's on the same page, it seems like, you know, and everybody's there for the right reason. They're there for the kids. They're there to raise money. They put their money where their mouth is. So, and for us as an organization to start in November of 2017 and then be able to go to construction, we had to raise $600,000, and again, all through private monies, and we're really proud of that. And so phase 1, that's where we're at. And so part of that also, and I wanted to talk about, was Kevin's Courts. So Kevin's Courts is a charity done by Kevin Ollie, who's the UConn basketball coach a while back, and he has a golf tournament that he sponsors every year at Lake of the Isles. And the proceeds from that, or a portion of the proceeds, go out to Kevin's Courts. And so they put that money back into the program. And Kevin's Courts is an accessible basketball facility, again, for kids with disabilities. So the pictures here, and I think they took some other shots of it as well. And so what it is, if you can see a little bit, there's the baskets are all at different heights. And so that those kids can participate, those kids with disabilities can participate with their peers and their parents. And it's like a bank shot type of thing. And so they're able to do that. And they came on board once they found out about our project. And this was something they wanted to be a part of the project. And they, we happened to meet at a golf tournament, at the Miracle League Golf Tournament, and we talked about it and loved to have them in East Lyme and part of our Miracle League project. So not only do we have a field that is accessible for baseball, lacrosse, soccer, but we also have a basketball court here that is fully accessible for kids as well, and it works out really good. And it's an elementary school, so again, those kids at recess can come out and participate and be a part of it. So
absolutely,
we're proud of all those partnerships that have kind of developed out of this.
Absolutely. What's the next picture we're looking at?
So just how this all started. I don't know, about 4 years ago, we started with a program called I Can Bike.
Yes.
And the I Can Bike program was really brought to us through the Miracle League of Connecticut, and it teaches kids how to ride a two-wheel bicycle independently.
There you go.
So we did a program in East Lyme, and very successful. We were so excited about it, and the Miracle League of Connecticut was looking to branch out and support another Miracle League field somewhere in Connecticut. And so with that relationship that we started with our I Can Bike program, we were able to get into discussions, and then they helped us with funding and some seed money to get started, and we now have a Miracle League field, the second one in Connecticut.
Cool.
The fourth one in New England that is in East Lyme. We're proud that we're attracting people from out throughout Southeastern Connecticut, and we want to attract more people on this side of the river,
right.
Old Saybrook, Westbrook, Madison, Clinton,
right.
all those towns that know that we have programming shortly, that's going on. So that's where we're at as far as phase one and as far as some programming is concerned. So
you said this is the second Miracle League field in Connecticut.
Right.
Where's the first?
The first one's in West Hartford.
Okay.
It's a West Hartford Little League complex.
Okay.
So they are our parent organization, so the Miracle League of Connecticut. So they started that, I think, about 2010, and very successful, kind of the activities that they do there.
Sure.
We've learned a lot from them because they were the first one to put in do's and don'ts of like the construction process,
yep.
the fundraising process, and they were great helping us throughout that whole situation, and then helping us with funding too,
right?
To be able to get to where we are now, and that's where we're at.
Wow.
As far as that is concerned. So
you guys are a very busy organization.
Very busy, and that huge help from our volunteers. Wouldn't be able to do it without our volunteers.
Right.
And the huge thing was our fundraising, right? And so we had a great fundraising committee person. Was our chairman was Julie Wilson.
Oh, absolutely.
And Julie, took on the Oyster Festival that we had done, and trivia nights and everything that was related to our fundraising efforts. And she's still on our board. We have a new person that's chairperson on that because I think people get burnt out maybe a little bit doing that. So Mary Ann Salvatore's taking that on.
Okay.
We are unfortunately in a little bit of a holding pattern as far as our fundraising is concerned. We were
no Oyster Festival
last
this year.
weekend would have been our third annual Oyster Fest.
That's
and
right.
That was right around between $15,000 and $18,000 that was raising on an annual basis. And then we have a baseball themed gala that was done at the Mohegan Sun.
Yes.
And so last December we did it for 2 years. That raised in 2 years over $160,000. Yeah, so that was a huge event. We decided not to do that this year.
No.
We're going to hold off a year on that, and that's why the Mohegan Tribe has been great to us as far as use of their facilities for that event. And so without those two events, we've really our fundraising is really kind of scaled back for probably 8-9 months.
Okay.
Behind where we want to be for phase two.
Okay.
Now with that, we are doing certain kind of fun little things to keep our name out there, and people can support us if they want.
Sure.
And this Wednesday, we're doing a virtual cooking demonstration with Olivia Formica is the executive chef at Flanders Fish Market.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to have it by a Zoom link, and people can go and find and she's going to do a seafood type of recipe for people to be able to tune in. And for, I think, a small fee, I think we're going to charge $25 to get the Zoom link and hopefully raise some money, and people can learn maybe a neat dish from Olivia. And Flanders Fish has been a great supporter of ours. The owner, Paul Formica, and Senator Formica. He was the first one to actually make a monetary donation to the project. So, excited that we're kind of coming back full circle and doing something there on Wednesday night.
Cool.
So,
Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Dave Putnam from the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut. Dave, welcome back.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, my friend.
Again. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
again,
no problem. Anytime, you know that.
All right, great.
So we were talking about the board of directors in the first segment,
Right.
but we have to mention one shout out in particular.
Right. And
Go for it.
Yes. So Jim Grogan
Absolutely.
is a very active member of our board.
Absolutely.
He volunteers at our basketball program. He goes up to the Halloween trick-or-treating event they have in West Hartford. He's done a whole lot of stuff for us.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he
yeah.
developed a relationship with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Come over and pick you up and bring you
Bring
to our
me to
meetings and stuff.
absolutely, yeah.
And so Jim's a super guy, and he's
Yes.
just one of 24 other ones
Exactly.
that have done a great job and helped move this project forward. I couldn't.
No.
Our organization couldn't do it without all the efforts by all those.
Exactly. All right, so we got this phase done.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Is there another phase?
On to phase two.
Yeah, what's phase two?
So phase two is part of the project is a fully accessible playscape or playground area.
Okay.
And then also included in that is a fully accessible restroom facility, storage area,
Okay, sure.
Kind of concession stand. The playscape here now is a typical playscape like any other. It's
Sure.
got, unfortunately, it's got wood chips
Oh,
on the ground, which is a good safety, safety precaution. However, it's not handicap accessible, or it's not as handicap accessible as we would like it to be.
Okay.
And then the apparatuses there have stairs
Yep.
and different things. So we are in phase two of the design of that, and we're working with, again, TO Design out of New Britain for us to make sure all of our elements are fully handicapped accessible.
Absolutely.
And so what that would mean is our surface then becomes a port in place, or similar to like a synthetic track surface. A little bit softer for fall zones and that kind of thing. And then all of the apparatuses or elements have handicapped accessibility, so there's no stairs. Instead, so someone that might be in a wheelchair that wants to get up onto one of the play areas could not do that with stairs.
Right.
But if we have ramps that do that,
They can.
we could do that. And then we talked about doing some sensory things too, with roller slides and things with music and things that maybe kind of outside the box a little bit of your typical playground area.
Okay.
So I have a committee that's set up to look at that, and we've taken a couple of field trips up to West Hartford. There's a great place called Jonathan's Dream that's at the West Hartford Jewish Community Center. That is just, it's like the Cadillac of playscapes. I mean, it's just beautiful. Yeah. So we've taken some of that, and the West Hartford has one too at the West Hartford complex, and so we're looking at all of those, and our next step is to kind of we want to do a survey of the kids too that use it, and what do you like on some of the areas that you've gone to, and get their input. And I think that's important than us just kind of saying, oh, this looks pretty cool. Well, if it looks cool but no one's going to use it.
Right, exactly.
Right, that we wanted some buy-in from the kids, and so we're in the process of doing that. But this whole COVID-19 thing is kind of, it's hard to bring people together, to bring them together to have a open meeting or open discussion. So we've kind of put that on hold a little bit. We are talking about maybe sending some emails out to some of those families that we have in our group that have already started doing some programming with us and stuff, and kind of getting their survey of kind of what their kids like when they go to a certain facility.
Exactly.
So I think that's important. And the other thing is the restroom facility right now, unfortunately, we have a porta potty out there, which no one likes.
No.
Right. But we want to do programming. We want to get it going. So the next thing we need to do is, so we're looking to do family style restroom facilities, make it a concession building. And so we're going to start that process of getting approvals from our Board of Education in East Lyme. Yeah. It's on their property, and then the zoning commission, and make sure that we're doing everything appropriately as far as they are concerned. And then we got to get into our fundraising.
Exactly. We
phase
gotta
two.
raise more money.
So we've raised $640 something thousand to date.
Oh my goodness.
We need another $500,000.
All right.
Right, and so kind of,
Sure.
we've kind of taken a deep breath here. The field's great, and we're doing some great programming with it, with soccer and dance. And in the spring, we hope to do baseball. And had someone come forward today and want to do a kickball program for the kids. So I think that's great. And so it's kind of like a field of dreams. If you build it,
they will come.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so that was always a concern of how many kids are going to take advantage of it, and we want to make sure that we're getting the word out. And so thank you for having me.
Not a problem.
And get the word out on this side of the river.
Not a problem. You know that.
Yeah. So that's where we are as far as phase 2 is concerned. And then we got a little bit into the fundraising a little bit, how we're kind of taking a little bit of a back seat here because of most of our fundraising things are done in person and large groups. And so we want to try to get through this whole pandemic, and when things are safe, we'll start bulldozing ahead again with,
absolutely.
With some fundraising.
So speaking of fundraisers, we got one coming up with Flanders Fish.
We do. So
Talk to us.
We kind of, our fundraising committee now is run by Marianne Salvatore. She just took over from our past chairperson, which was Julie Wilson.
Sure.
And she's come up with like a virtual thing that we should do some virtual type things, and maybe people could, support us that way and keep our name out there. So we're doing a cooking demonstration at Flanders Fish Market with the executive chefs. There's Olivia Formica. Okay. And that's going to be Wednesday night at 5 o'clock, and people can sign up for the Zoom link, and they can go to our website at www.mlsect.org.
Okay.
And find that link there. And if they want to, for $25, all the monies go towards the Miracle League Field in our phase 2 of our project. And they'll get the cooking demonstration via Zoom from Executive Chef Formica. So
I've never met Executive Chef Formica.
she's great. And if you've been to the restaurant, it's great. I mean,
I haven't been in a while.
Oh my goodness,
I haven't been in a while.
I can't speak more highly of their food and the job Olivia does there. It's really great. So that, and then we're hoping to do some other things, maybe like a wine tasting demonstration, and then we're hoping this kind of builds a little bit of a momentum. Maybe we can do something on a monthly basis. Yeah. Until we can get back to that situation where we're actually doing an oyster festival, and doing a big baseball gala, and doing trivia nights, and doing those other kinds of things that we've had some success with in the past, that we can certainly do that and get to our next goal.
Exactly. What is next goal?
So next goal is phase 2 is the bathroom. We need to raise that $500,000. Okay. Right, and so. That was pretty daunting that when we started with nothing and thinking that we needed $600,000 to do phase 1. Right. But then to see our community support in the East Lyme, Niantic area was just overwhelming. From the Niantic Rotary Club to Niantic Main Street to some of our nonprofits, the Eastern Connecticut Chamber of Commerce, got us a grant. Flanders Fish, Geico. There's so many businesses. I hate to leave anybody.
You don't want to forget somebody.
Boats Incorporated ran a fishing tournament for us. Arthur Murray Dance Studio did a dance thing for us. Everybody just kind of got on board with it, and so it was really heartwarming to see that these businesses got behind our goal of providing activities for kids with disabilities.
Absolutely.
And it's a heartwarming project, and I think it was nice to see our community get involved and do such a great job with it.
When's phase 2 going to be complete?
We don't know. We don't know, but
soon.
Soon.
Sooner than later.
I think we're going to be a year behind. This whole COVID-19 stuff is going to put us a year behind. And as far as our fundraising is concerned, because we lost 2 of our major fundraisers at just about $100,000 a year. Out of those 2 fundraisers were coming out, and to lose those 2, probably puts us back a year. But we'll get there, and if we lose a year, we lost a year. It's just, I just think that once people see the field and see the joy on these kids' faces, that's what it's all about.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And we haven't really talked about that much, but
let's talk about the joy.
Yeah, so to see these kids, and that's how we started with the Ike and Bike program, and to see these kids mature in a week from being afraid to get on a bike,
Right.
to riding a bike independently on Friday, in 5 days.
Yeah.
Right, was just so heartwarming to see these kids' faces light up, and to see these kids play baseball. Right, where they might not have had a chance to play baseball before. And like I mentioned, we're doing the dance program on Saturdays, and I just sit there and watch because we have Dance Studio 22 in East Lyme does it for us.
Okay.
Right, and just to see the joy on these kids' faces, I find myself like grinning the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
And sitting there going, this is great. And if we can provide more activities for that, it's great. And then to see these kids come and play soccer.
Yeah.
Right, and so that they're going to soccer just like anybody else would be going to soccer on a Sunday morning, right? And they have a game, and we have a scoreboard, and we announce the kids all their, the starting lineup. Every kid's a starter, but we introduce all the kids, and to see them come out and get high-fived by our peer mentors and our volunteers is just. It puts a smile on my face
absolutely.
every day. It was well worth all that hard work to see us complete the field. Yeah,
absolutely it was. And we got a little bit more time left, so if people want more information, where are we going?
Sure. So we have a website that we're constantly trying to make better.
Yep.
It is www.mlsect.org.
Okay.
And so it's Miracle League Southeastern Connecticut, so mlsect.org.
Okay.
Or they can call me.
Right.
I'm also happen to be the Park and Rec Director for the town of East Lyme. So they can call me at the Park and Rec office, or they can shoot me an email.
Right.
My email address is dputnam at eltownhall.com.
Right.
And just we have people that either want to volunteer or find out how to get involved with our programs. And so that's the best way that they can find information to us. We have a Facebook page as well, Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut, and we do a lot of good stuff on there as well.
Excellent. Dave Putnam from the Miracle League, thanks for some time, and we'll see you soon.
All right, Pete, thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
pal.
it. All right, bye.
On behalf of Dave Putnam, I'm Pete Mezzetti. We'll see you next time.